make off. Yeah, absolutely. So check temperatures. You know, this is like your fridge. You know, this is again. Yeah, we've got a slow response here. We want them in the minus. Yeah, so we've got minus in there, which is not bad. Okay, inside. Yeah, minus 25. Okay, that's cool, guys. We're good. I like it. Your fridges and everything's the same temperature. Your mason jars, you know, you'll see the colour variation. Okay. And it's good if you can turn down the fridge so you can actually see it. Because we're working with this sort of setup, there'll be a little magic in that. But you'll see it all working with you. What we're going to do is I want you to grab the mason jar out. It's chilled enough. Okay. Yeah, this one's screwed up there, maybe. Okay, what I'm going to get you to do. Okay, what's the best way to do this? The best way to do this. Catch everything, make it much easier, so I can run a little more alcohol through there. Now what I want you to do, grab your first canister. Which one's that? Anyone? Yeah. Nice. Enjoy it. You up that camera. Is that on? No, I just turn it up. Beautiful. Shake it. Yep, shake it.
So when you did this oil over here, was that with your just the trays?
Oh, you mean which one? Oh, it's a little different. Okay, undo it, mate. What we'll do this way. And then you've got the mid mark which one's right. Yep, the back one. Okay, now you can do that method. I'm going to show you. So I'm showing you different methods here, guys. Okay, it's not just the one, it's the correct one. Okay, and get another bit of alcohol out of there, frozen. Because we've done it too fine, guys, this is a good experiment for you. Remember we did it too fine because of that? See if we've got a blockage here? So that's what happens when it's too fine. When it's coarse, that alcohol would have normally ran through. Okay, so that's what happens when you're grinding it too fine. So what we're going to do, then all you need to do now, is we're going to do something totally different, guys, because we can't do it this method. Hold that. We're just going to transfer the material into here. Can you grab that? Yeah. It's not even nice to do. Okay, now if you've got your normal fridge, what you'd normally do, that would sit in another rack, and then that would drain naturally, so you're getting all your cannabinoids. But we don't have that privilege. Okay, can you make a little bit of room? Well, this is probably going to be a good experiment for you. What I'm going to get is most of that here. I'm going to let this naturally brew off. Do you want to take one of those? I'm going to put my saver stuff in there. I'm going to put this on there. Beautiful. And this will show you bleeding. So what I want you to do is I want you to time it and then watch the coloration of this. This is going to teach you everything about distillation. So I want you to change this glass every 2 minutes for the next, do 3 glasses and then time it. And then you watch the coloration and the temperature change. And then you watch what happens. It's minus 10.
So you're switching to
Yeah,
two
minus,
more
yeah. So what I want you to do is get those ready and change it, and you watch the color change. So you just let it run, let it run, let it run. Temperature is dropping. And you see the chlorophyll bleeding on.
So normally you don't do this in plain
Oh, no, I'm just showing you here what's going to happen to the coloration change through temperature.
Okay.
This will show you an indication.
Granted, you have about 20 seconds. You say this process is pressure.
Okay, look at this. Triclones. Natural color. So, color's not bad. Okay. Little tinge coming through. So here you go. There's some plant waxes and
It is better because it basically freezes all the chlorophyll in each spot. It will drain it. So what they always say.
particulars, all
the
sorts.
it is, the less
It's not really cold enough to pick up much.
filtering the process, which is good. That's how you can tell the kid product. What's that timer say? It's the never change it. That's the natural color. It's like a yellowish. That's kind of like if you can see the green tint to it.
Okay, now what you're going to do, just imagine if you had 100 of these guys and you have it in a minus 85 fridge, and of course it's not this process, and you let it sit for a period of time. We haven't got that privilege again today, so we're going to sit it for half an hour and you're going to see the particulars rest, because you don't have a filtration system. If you had a really good filtration system, you can go straight from that, run it through the filtration system inside your fridge at minus 85, and it will come out crystal clear if you do everything right. So now we'll put it in here. Imagine this is now.
We need a bigger pot. He's working on that for us.
Okay. Hose, I test everything first before I turn it on with my water, because I'd like to know my water does run through it without leaks. So we test everything first before we turn it on.
So when I turn the hose on,
Yeah, and it just have it slowly come through. And it's always good. Well, it's going to be inside. You're going to have adjustment hoses and whatnot. Let's not waste water.
That's pretty high pressure, so.
Yeah, not too much pressure, please. Okay, temperature alarm on. So your temperature we're going to set 122, just for now. So if you're busy doing something else, you set a temperature. So when it hits 122, it's going to give you a couple of minutes to let you know it's before it hits the 172 mark where you're getting evaporation. Hardly anything. You don't need to use much water. And then again, you know, it's really up to you. I reticulate my own water. I have 1,000 gallons. You know, you can have 1,000 gallon tote or pump system, and you just reticulate your water, so you never use any water cooling down your still. I think that's something like that. Oh man, Jesus Christ, you use a 12 volt DC, I mean, however you want to do it, you use no power. You just, whenever you run it still, turn it on and you just reticulate the water. Simple, man. And that's money. You save money. Yeah. Okay, so we've got that on. Okay, let's plug it in. what I'm going to say about this is your controlling unit. Again, it's going to be different on the bigger boiler, but this will just show you basically when you're running it. I want you to always learn variable first before just putting it on. Let it just run its course. So variable, we'll turn it on full for now, on variable, so it's going to give it all its power, which is about 625 watts. Variable, on high, and that's plugged on, and we do have power to this, guys. We checked it.
If that breaker's on,
Yep,
it's
it's
plugging.
on. Okay, sometimes when this doesn't come on, you've got a reset switch here. Okay, so just make sure that that's clicked in.
Okay.
Now we're ready to go. Your temperature inside the casing is 54 degrees Fahrenheit. If that does not change in the next 10 minutes, it means it's not on. Or I've sold you a bogus part. So that's it. So we'll just wait. Taste. Yeah. So that's just about it. And another thing too is full plant extract. Don't throw away your material.
Who balls and stocks? It'd be crazy to have a lot of growers like Jesse. Imagine his root balls.
There's a guy do
40-gallon root stocks this tall. What comes out of stocks?
What comes out of stalks?
Yeah. You know what chemicals by chance?
Yeah, there's a lot in there. There's a lot in there, man.
I know the seeded stuff, like what you're talking, would be a lot better too.
Yeah.
The hemp seeds.
See the temperature's changing?
I can hear the buffering already.
So temperature's changing, which is great, so you know the thing's working.
How do you want to set up the stand for?
Okay, so all we're doing is you can set something under here or
The box.
never put new products in shit like that. Yeah, you're in a world of hurt, mate. Because I'm telling you, you can't remove chlorophyll once it's in there without. You need expensive equipment. That's it, guys. Easy done. Just don't put good, clean, frozen product in an environment like that. Change in temperature. And sometimes you may have some old alcohol that you have a cleaning bay where you just do all your cleaning through there, and then at the end of the week you get all that alcohol, run it through here, and you'll have that thick resin at the end. And you just keep that to the end until you get enough of it, and then you do an alcohol clean and run it through again and polish it, and then you'll have a wonderful oil. Nothing gets wasted. That'd be great.
So that's the extras.
So what's in there now and what are you doing with it?
Okay, now I'm going to put it up
We're
172.
going to put it in, basically extract the oils.
From what, that?
That's basically what's in there. That's what's in there.
I
But
set it at
this-
173.
The juice is in it.
So it's hit
This is all
173.
the extras dripping off.
So I've set it at 174,
What's left
175,
in that
and when it
stuff?
gets down to that, then it's
That
going to
is the
hit
same
that
thing that's in
little
there,
bit
but
of
there's more
moisture.
chlorophyll in it because
which
it's
will send
soaking
that
it
off.
to warmer. So we did a quick wash,
So there's nothing left in that reserve.
minute amounts.
So
149.7.
nothing's been bought.
Now that's warm.
So-
That works.
Okay, so what's the, is that temperature in
Now
there?
the vapor's hitting here. What did I say? 172 is vapor. So now the vapor's hitting your dividing tray, into the dividing tray before it goes in here. So now, what temperature are at now?
172.5.
Okay, so now it's refluxing at that
Oh,
temperature, so it
yeah.
means
Yeah.
alcohol can't flash off at once.
Instantly
That
cold.
was close.
Temperature gauge is degrees now.
So instantly cold to filter everything.
What I'm gonna do now is
It
I'm gonna
freezes
bleed
all
off.
the impurities in place.
So
that way
I'll let
get
you
the
do it.
raw-
I'll let you
this
run
raw
that
material. Then you put it in
Open up
here,
the
and
tap.
that basically refines it into a cleaner oil that separates from the
Yeah,
oil.
yeah, it's just a flare fitting. And that's the good thing about it, everything's Do we
It
have
works. It's
Very
a
good.
How much flow do
No,
I
no,
give it?
it's whatever you want.
More or
Just
less?
turn it all the way open. That's it. Let it go. Because what it's doing, there was a dividing tray that was totally full. So we'll open it all the way up. And now you're reclaiming your alcohol.
Okay, that's what I think.
And then, if you can imagine, some of those terpenes depend on what varieties will come through at the beginning. It really depends. Flashing points. You know your flashing points for terpenes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Read about heats.
Read about it.
Different temperatures.
Yep. Yeah, and you've got to understand flash points of terpenes, cannabinoids, CBDs, CBGs, all of them. They all have a temperature.
Okay, so
Yeah, very important to learn it.
flash mob.
Yep. Yeah, they call them a vapor point when you get a terpene that vapors off.
It's fine. Some of
So is this process then getting the alcohol out of it?
Yeah, it is. Correct.
So that's pure alcohol?
That is pure alcohol.
Just reclaiming what we put into the
That's
mix
correct.
can be used again. There's no noise.
And originally you put it in the bud and chopped it up.
minerals have side effects with products you
Well,
put
no,
in.
it's just that I think that the cleaner the water. Look, yeah, there's a lot of research in distilled water. The more and more you distill water, especially in the glass still, yeah, it improves with whatever product you overlay in the water. Yeah, it does something to the product. Again,
Did you learn all this on your own, or do you have a chemistry background?
never mind. Doing it 1,000 times and finding out what didn't work. I think because then there's no bullshit. I'm not listening to somebody else that read about it.
Or
Yeah, trial and error I think is the best way. But there's a lot of people that have done a lot of trial and error, and I'm doing stuff that they've left off at, and I'm just, yeah, a lot of people have done this way before us. Absolutely. Alcohol, but you want to do everything in small batches, because if you fuck up on a small batch, you don't lose your money.
You're lost, yeah.
Yeah, because it's really stupid, man. I've seen some people doing some just stupid things. So the smallest batch until you work out your process and you're familiar with the process and you know you're getting consistency, then double it, double it again, because it's, you know, you're just transferring a small into a large through just the same process.
So when I start
Familiar with it.
doing this on my own, what would you suggest
Well,
to be my...
that's where you get into fridges, everything's close together. See, this part of it, you don't have to worry about anything, and there's no rush of movement or nothing. Distilling is the slowest part of it, you're just waiting for the vapor to turn to a liquid, that's it. Most of this stuff, cooling down, is time efficiency, repeatable, meaning that open the fridge, do your changes, cleans, shut the fridge, done.
So you only know how much alcohol or how long it's taking to do that because you like measured it before.
Yeah, that's the best thing. So whatever alcohol you're putting in there, mark it. You know, you can. I like marking it with the tape or whatever, because you're doing big batches and you can see it from a distance, so you know
Yeah,
to calculate
like
that this
yeah.
line here, and that's where my levels are at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to guess.
No, yeah.
Too much money.
Yeah.
You never want to guess. We know we've hit a little more water. Okay, so we've increased that temperature because we've now got water vapor coming up with it, or a little bit of water vapor. Temperature change, just a good indication that we're now in our boil.
You have to do this every time.
No, you have to do it.
Did you ever do that part?
Oh, but that's easy, guys. It's all about temperature. But you know the book, Distiller's Workbook?
Yeah.
This will teach you everything. I guarantee you, guys, you get the audio book, and you listen to it a couple of times, you're learning everything here. Alcohol is 172 to 174 when it flashes, depending on your temperatures, or of what the temperature unit is. Okay? Just gonna sit there, let it cool down a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to pour this back into this, and I'm going to leave it filled out later, and I'll show you why the pink is being removed. There's the nastiness. Is that about what we had?
I'd say no.
You'd
That
say
we had a little bit more.
We did pour something.
Remember those? Was it those? No, because we adjusted it.
So there you go. So that means you've still got a bit in there. So there it calculates probably your 6% that you lost. Okay, so we'll open her up. There's your oil, and then you put that in your bowl, and then you evaporate the rest. And you can do this with, your devac, however you do it. Naturally, let it evaporate. So you can see your greens come through.
Chlorophyll?
Yep.
Colder.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Oh,
You can't do a wash with alcohol? Extract chlorophyll?
what's that, sir?
Can't do another wash with alcohol to extract chlorophyll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, winterizing, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I could remove all that if I put that in a minus 85. Take out, the lipids, fats, waxes. Yeah, absolutely remove all that. Yeah, for sure. Yes, sir.
Do we need to wash that out?
Oh, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit. When it cools down, I'm going to get you guys to stick your finger in there. It's great to like that. And no, just so you can understand the taste. Just look at this one in here. So yeah, so what we'll do is I'm going to let it cool down, and then I'm going to get you to stick your finger in there, and you can taste it. Cannabinoids, terpenes in there. And what I'll do is I'll re-distill that down to an oil, and you'll have a little water.
So what's the yield on this percentage?
Our percentage won't even huge, because you're getting every cannabinoid out of there. It's just your process. So you're doing the caveman route here, is caveman route. And you're always going to get lost through that. But when you get it into a fridge unit and really everything is precisely done at all times, then you're getting everything.
All right.
Nothing. So, and then again, all those particulars in there, when you're sitting it, see, I'm just sitting it here. Look at this particular sitting there. So it should normally be removed.
Okay.
With the cold?
Yes. No, with the sitting. Gravity.
With that 24-hour period he was talking about.
Due to cold, right?
Sitting. Due to cold and sitting and not being moved about. Until you get your filtration use, because you can go to filtration or you can go through gravity. Gravity costs you nothing. It just costs you time. Just let it sit there. If you want to use filtration units, you can use that too. But you're minus 15. Minus 15. Yeah, touch it, taste it. And that'll give you an indication on, yeah, see? Wow. Very spicy.
Ooh, yeah, it is.
I mean, you taste all the nose? It's very, very spicy. So, for a tincture, that'd be a great pain relief. That'd be a great pain relief. So if you have a cut in your hand, or if you have cancer, skin cancer, that shit is the best shit for you to put on skin cancer. Gout. If you've got gout just lining up, you want to put that in an ointment, put it on your gout. That'll knock you on your ass.
Great. We're all asleep for 10 minutes. We're in chairs.
Oh yeah. That's
Wow.
How come it's spicy?
spicy because the greatest of herb, Jesus Christ, the marijuana plant incorporates every terpene on the planet. The lemon, the limonene, Jesus. How many terpenes are in all the variety of marijuana plants? I mean, that's why you hear people saying blueberry, all these different smells.
Finger really sticky.
Yeah.
Different terpenes. Yeah, do different things, yeah. But interesting, We'll clean that up. But what we're going to do is I'm going to remove that pink out of that alcohol. Okay. Do I need to do that? No, I don't want to do that. I want to make the oil. So we're going to pull that back and we're going to remove the rest of that alcohol, okay? There you go, hold that, my friend. Pull that back in there. I'm going to put a little more alcohol in there. New alcohol. Pour in there. Actually. just
In
pour
the
it. Yeah,
bowl?
just fill it up, yeah, because I just want to swirl it around. Beautiful, mate. Pump that out, and that's it, mate. Beautiful. And we'll
So then, does it matter on the exact ingredients with some of this stuff, or is it more so just?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. See, the more you do this, you start writing things down. I do nothing without writing it down. And that is, I start off with, and I'll write this down for you, just like a list of things you need to do and incorporating it. The only way you're going to find out if you're going to make money out of this is keeping good track record on how much weight comes in plant material, how much product is returned from it, and then getting your product tested after your extraction. I did that for 1.5 years. Always, every extraction I did, I always got a test on the plant material after it.
What are prices if they're on testing? What are prices if they're?
Depends how much you do. Like the integrity testing, these guys here, they're flat out with this 502. They're working, more into this one. But yeah,
What do
they're
they charge
great.
to do
I
it?
don't know what they do in big batch 502. I know that they'll work with, absolutely. If you're gonna be a person that grows on your own and just want your flower tested, I think for one test, if you're just going to do one only, they charge you $50 a test. If you're doing multiples, I know that they've done that for me. Yeah, they'll negotiate. Absolutely.
I was just gonna say, I just talked to Joel last night, and he has a plan. He's got $100 a test
Yep,
in savings.
It's $25 cheaper than the MRX.
Oh,
you
no,
know,
integrity testing, man, they're good.
Yeah.
They're great. And Peters from Princeton University, the guys know what they're doing. They do. Mark's
They're
great.
in Olympia, correct?
Can you do
Yeah.
that?
Shit, man. Did you?
I have my current motion.
Did you want to talk to
But
other
does
Mark?
So
It's quite interesting. Hey?
I'm gonna turn this on here.
Yeah, turn it on and put it on variable and go all the way to the end. Set your temperature at 175. Make sure the alarm's on. Make sure that the reset has been reset, the button on the side. Like I said, if it doesn't show a temperature change in the first 5 to 10 minutes, you know it's not on. Okay. Yeah.
Can you recap? What's going on? What are you doing now?
Okay, so we've just put everything back there. We've removed all the alcohol. We've got the oil in there. We're going to let it cool down. We're going to tip out the oil and show them. It's all just understanding the essential oil. Once you understand nature and it's all how oil is removed, every plant's different. Cannabis plant is probably complex, really complex. But
These are the waxes that you're talking about that you're not wanting.
okay. You'll pick them up. See that? That's decarboxylating the product. Now you're turning it from a THCA to a THC. You have now tetrahedron cannabinoid. That thing's gonna put you on your backside. Yeah. It's, okay, shitty temperatures, but look still what we got. Pretty crazy, huh? All from a $1,500 machine. Nice color, brother.
They wouldn't use the same.
Now opening up the. Okay, now this is the smell you want to smell. It's about 130. It's about a 120 in there. 120 degrees Fahrenheit. Smell that? With? No, well the terpenes are just starting to come back down to the oil. You smell? It's got some really. I don't know if you're picking it. Picking some like a pine berry. What was this? Blackberry. Oh, okay. It's pretty cool. Put in the light more, and then you can see it. Huh?
Oh yeah, look at that colour, guys. Look at that. So there you go. Out of that shitty process and that shitty temperatures, you got honey oil.